sundry. Shells in North Wales here. Time for another Chances view, but from a slightly different perspective. Sat here on the coast, beach at Llandudno, with me missus. Up there you can see the Great Orme, and then the beach town of Llandudno sort of stacked, which has sort of been embedded in a bit of flat land adjacent to the surrounding hills. It's a quick view around to the little Orme that you're looking at over there, and then the Great Orme with its goats, or its mountain goats living on there, that in recent months with the COVID have been coming down into the town during the lockdown period and making themselves a bit more welcome or at home amongst the streets of this famous Welsh resort. And there's the pier going out into the Irish Sea. So this has booked us in for a weekend away here, and but thankfully Llandudno does have its compensations even for a scale modeller. So this is about, I think, to go for a paddle in the Irish Sea, which I suppose is as bonkers as being married to me for over 20 years. I suppose going to the Irish Sea is quite sane in comparison. She's reading herself. Well, had a little rummage around the town, and as I say, Llandudno does have its compensation, so picked up a book on Soviet spy planes of the Cold War, little reference material. Found also a colour guide to MiG-29 in the Polish Air Force, but also has colour slides for the West German Air Force and the Czech Air Force. There's a bit of reference material there, and that was from one of the local bookshops. And then also a rather nice find from ACME Games that has a model area in the background. Build Mi-24P Bison Nesta, so a nice little find there. Go into the stash, and now finally got the P model with the 30mm cannons of the height to go in, so I was rather fortunate to find that. Also, they also had their Edward Weekend Edition F6F Hellcat for a 10 quid, which was very tempting, but I thought, no, I've got the Academy kit, so no. But this, on the other hand, it's Russian, it's got rotors, and I haven't got it, so yeah. So, a couple of nice rides, I suppose that makes. It's some compensation for being away from the bench for a couple of evenings. It's a couple of some finds like that. Today at 11 we remembered VJ Day, so there was a moment of silence for that. It's for many they were the forgotten, or they felt forgotten. But we do remember them today, and that's really what also my recent series of builds has been about, remembering those from all the armies, bearing in mind Russia was also involved in the Pacific Theatre campaign, towards the end, attacking through China, and then the northern islands of Japan felt the Soviet wrath, and the long drawn out battle. And it's worth remembering that for the Japanese, they were war in the Pacific, and the Chinese, the war in the Pacific, Second World War for them lasted longer than probably any other nation. China's engagement in continuous, Japan's and China's engagement in continuous conflict ran, I believe, from about 1935 through to 1945, so it's pretty much 10 years of conflict they endured. If you consider when Japan invaded China and its annexation of Korea as well, which I believe was a bit before that, but so today really marks the end, VJ Day, of that conflict that has shaped the world so dramatically. One more build to complete on the VJ Day front before I return to some Russian subjects, and I'll in the second half of this video it'll be back at the bench and talking about that. And that build will take me through to the end of August, which I feel is appropriate. If I can squeeze in one more, great. Maybe a single aircraft or something. If not, the build I'll be discussing will see me next to the bench. Will be the last build before I return to more regular subject matter. But yeah, I thought I know chances that you could have seen around the world, and I call myself Chancellor North Wales because even though I'm from London originally, moved up here about over 20 years ago, and I'd spent a bit of time studying in Wales before then, and I'd never felt, put it this way, whenever I go back to London it reminds me why I left. And so I live, about 40 miles or so due east by southeast of here, or due east of here, so not that far. And I know from the hill in Buckley we can see the Dee estuary that then feeds into the Irish Sea. And yeah, Llandudno's a bit muted, but really not that muted because of COVID. There is plenty of life in the town, but people seem to be not behaving too insanely, giving each other a reasonable amount of space, wearing masks when they go into shops, that sort of thing. And if there's any, the chances for you is not just about a view from the bench. But to be honest with you, I'm not much of a holiday person. I get a little bit stir crazy when I don't have a modelling bench with an easy reach. But nonetheless, it's nice to get out here for a few days. We rented a old lake cottage up on the Little Orme, which is sort of the middle bump between those two bumps over there. So as we look out here, this is North Wales. This is part of the reason I love living where I live. The channel is Chancellor North Wales. It's just a small chunk of our amazing coast. And then inland of here, we've got the Llandudno range, Llandudno, and all the rest of it. And these Welsh seaside resorts, they grab every little bit of flat land, and the Victorians would knock themselves down, build rows upon rows of townhouses and hotels, like that one over there, and then build these piers out into the sea, and sort of almost to create, like here at any rate, sort of a Welsh Riviera. Now my wife is probably paddling in there, getting her feet wet at any rate, which is not my idea of fun. Main reason being because it's absolutely bloody freezing even at this time of year. So all due respect to the hardy souls who go dipping in the sea. It might be nice, warm and sunny, but let me assure you, the Irish Sea is, I suppose it's great if you're a seal, but I'll stay on the beach. Yeah, it's rocky, it's pebbly, it's not exactly that comfortable up on your backside. Well, it's not that bad really. They've even put a bit of a sandy beach, the chunk over there, the imported sand for the crowds. But this is all rock and hard pebbles. So, slightly different view for you guys. And absolutely glorious days, a few things. Celebrating, well, remembering VJ Day. At the end of, I suppose, mankind's most truly monumental conflict. Remembering, celebrating the beauty of Wales. Get way too sentimental, guys. For this being the first part of the Chance's View, when I'm back in the man cave on maybe sometime later tomorrow, I'll do part 2 of this. So until then, Chance in North Wales. Greetings to all. Back at the bench now. Time to carry on with another Chance's View. So, in real contrast from the lovely sunshine of the first half of this vid, it's now grey and bleak and dropped a few degrees in temperature. So we're just going to do a rundown, go through some shout-outs, discuss current projects, and discuss a local model shop. So firstly, a couple of weeks ago I was able to get to the model shop in Northwich. It was great to have a night chat with somebody there. Picked up a few kits. I did get the A6M that I'm currently working on, as well as the Academy Hellcat and the Airfix Bowfighter. Again, this one has options for Pacific Theatre. So that's really now the bulk of my builds. I'm going to carry on doing Pacific Theatre. It's going to be a theme I'll be coming back to amid the regular Russian stuff. So it's always great. This is an old chap, little shop. If you get to Northwich in Chester, it's well worth checking out. He's got good stock, nice range of things, and certainly willing to check him out. So that's a model shop in Northwich. If I can find a link for it, I will put it up, or some kind of details of it. Okay. Once again, thank you guys for all the feedback from my recent vids, the vids, the 2 unboxing ones, and this is the progress on them. So the A6M, now I'm ballsed up painting the stripes, so I stripped this off. I'm going to have to redo the tail stripes. The P40, as you can see, has some marks put on there for a degree of to have a little bit of damage, and that's going to be further modelled with bent metal poking out, that kind of thing. Some issue with a paint on this, that I managed to have problems with paint adhesion. The undercoat, particularly around the nose, just refused to adhere. and that gave me some problems when I put the masking tape on. It peeled off, and it did that a couple of times. So I've now got to a level, and quite frankly, is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also had some similar sort of issues on the outer wing panels. A blemish curve came up. Now, what had happened there was I was too quick to apply the Johnson's Clear, and it ended up leaving marks. I should have given the paint more time to cure. I've got slightly different texture now because I reworked the inboard panels with brush, but it doesn't look too bad. Some variation like that is not that horrendous. Just, yeah, something I had to watch out for there is not rushing in with the Johnson's Clear. Now the base for these is done. Same basic base that I used for the Kate, but this time done as a concrete base. The P40 is going to be in sort of this sort of position. Above it, with the 0 over the top of it. Now I also ordered from Hannon's some decals specifically because I wanted the 0 from Pearl Harbor, and so this is the set I got. So it's the ROPOS set, so Mitsubishi A6M00 over Pearl Harbor, with the guide to and the decals for 4 aircraft. They are a bit of a crowded sheet, but it has really most of what you need. I could have done with the striped decals on it, but for about £4 I'm not too worried. It gives me what I need, and the painting guidelines as well. So it turns out to be in the basic light grey shade. I've got the fuselage stripe on, but the tail stripes, as I say, need rework. I really ballsed them up, and I had bleed through and all sorts of other things like that. If I can find some red decals to use instead, I will do so. Otherwise, I'm going to have to really think about the burnishing down and how I'm going to approach them. So they're chugging along quite well. My Pacific Theatre projects are going to go on to the end of this month, and then what I'm ever working on, if it takes me through to September, I'll finish that, and then back to some Russian builds. Now, time for a few shout-outs. We're going to start off with, I've got 5 here. I've been building these up, so I've got almost a list of these accumulating. I am going to suggest, look down below, you'll see easy links. Sometimes finding people by name can be a bit difficult, so I always include in the comments in the info section below, expand it, and you'll see links to all these channels. So just give me a minute. I should pull from the garden or something. Right, start off. The first one is YipShifu. This is a new chap. He seems to focus he only has 4 videos up. 3 of them are of Japanese aircraft. He's not been on YouTube long, only a couple of months. His work is excellent, with very good video compilation. I think check out his work, definitely something you can be inspired there. So YipShifu. Next one is a fellow from Slovenia, goes by the name of VVS Modelling, and I would say about his work that he's very skilled and focused. This guy certainly likes to apply the extra detail work, the use of the resin sets, the photo etch sets. He check out his work. Tends to focus on Russian subjects, and very solid on the technique side. His recent work was an Azerbaijan MiG-21, very nicely done on this on the freehand camouflage work. So VVS Modelling, solid guy, presents in English, a modeler from Slovenia. Look at his work, see what inspiration you can find in it, and subscribe and support his channel. Next fellow is Aleksandr Chernous, and I do apologize if I stuff up any pronunciations here. This is a Russian modeler. He did a brilliant job on the Airfix MiG-17 with the photo etch and the resin extras. Really went to town on it. Very well compiled and informative videos. This guy is particularly hot on what I'd say the area of correcting detail issues, really bringing the most out of the model, and his fine detail work I think needs to be seen, to be believed, and to look at him for inspiration. Next fella is Siberian Modeller. He seems to do a mix of subjects. His most recent work was a Tamiya A6M0 in 1/72. I keep on saying all these guys that I'm presenting to you are guys who seem to be standing out in terms of their detail work. They're not building the massive models, but what they are building is what I would normally expect to see in a 1/48 scale model, and they're doing it in 1/72. So again, check his videos out. This is Siberian Modeller. He's in the info section down below, and you will certainly find inspiration in his work. The fifth guy is a chap from Korea, Eddie's Garage. So South Korean modeler. He did a brilliant rendition of the Airfix Jet Provost. Very strong attention to surface finish I saw in his work, with polishing, they were in the red display team markings. Really saw some interesting techniques there in terms of polishing and getting a great surface finish out of a model. Again, 1/72 scale work. I think there was some 1/48 scale work there as well. Not being on the around for that long and doesn't have that many subscribers, which I think is unfortunate. This is a guy, look him up, check him out, and subscribe and support him, and we'll hopefully see from all 5 of these guys more videos, more work. But that kind of thing happens, guys, if we encourage people. If you're posting videos and you're getting no response, after a while you're going to lose heart. You're going to feel, well, why do I bother? Nobody cares. With channels like this, particularly the high-end work they do, subscribe to them. Give them likes. Let them see that you're looking at their work and that you're providing feedback and just saying, well, thanks for posting, guys. So these are my 5 shout-outs. I'm very conscious that I'm soaking up phone memory, so I'm kind of watching the time. That's why I peer in as I do this on my phone. So this has really been sort of this 2-parter. I'm looking forward to, once this project is done, diving into some Russian rotary wings, and in particular Kamov 26. Been dying to build this for a while now. But I've also got the Kamov 126 and 226. Just need to move back to that, and I haven't built a helicopter yet this year. So that's where we are. Thank you guys for watching what will probably turn out to be a rather long video. And as always, keep posting the great vids out there, keep encouraging one another, keep providing constructive criticism, and I open all my videos, as you know. If you think I've ballsed something up or made a mess of something, say so. If you think I could have done something better, say so. I am open to constructive criticism. That's the way we grow, that's the way we develop. If everything is a slap on the back and attaboy, we don't really move on. So let's encourage, criticize, and develop one another's modeling skills. So next thing you'll probably see is the build video for the P40 and the A6M on their little dogfight double base, and then we move on with things. And my build rate has to slow slightly because there's other things on the work front and on the professional front that I've got to throw more time into in the evening. So after these, I'm going to sort of say I'm only allowed to build one model a month, as opposed to currently I'm on 2 builds a month. I have to slow myself down a little bit because it is eating into my modeling time, is eating into the time I need to give to other things. Well, that's what the goal is anyway. So I hope you have enjoyed this Chance's View. As always, guys, keep on modelling. Keep yourself safe, particularly at this difficult time, but things seem to be relaxing a bit. Keep supporting your local model shops. And until then, God bless and happy modelling.